Good morning. This is Father Stephen Kelly from St. John's Church in Detroit. We're continuing our series of daily morning meditations where we generally look at one or another of the lessons that are assigned for morning or evening prayer, what is better known as the daily office lectionary. And as promised yesterday, we're going to look today at the gospel lesson that's appointed for evening prayer from St. John's Gospel. Now, I have to say up front, this is one of my favorite stories in the St. John's Gospel, other than that of the teachings about the Eucharist itself in chapter 6. This particular story of the raising of Lazarus always gets right to me. The ridiculously wonderful amount of the humanity of Jesus and yet his divinity. The fact that he weeps, that's tomorrow's lesson. I don't want to get ahead on us. But and the fact that he can, in fact, raise somebody from the dead. But all the theological implications that lead up to that particular portion of the scriptures is amazing. As a matter of fact, yesterday's lesson contained one of the lines from St. Thomas. And poor old St. Thomas, everybody knows St. Thomas as doubting Thomas, right? But he has one of the great lines in the scriptures when Jesus says, let's go over there to where Lazarus is. And of course, it's an area where they've been trying to stone Jesus, looking for an opportunity to get him. And so Thomas blurts this out when Jesus says, I'm glad for your sakes that I was not there, to the intent that you may believe. Nevertheless, let us go unto him. Then said Thomas, which is called Didymus, unto his fellow disciples, let us also go, that we may die with him. Right? What a great affirmation of faith. Poor doubting Thomas gets that because of what happened after the resurrection, but Thomas has got other good lines in here as well. But today's lesson is this, beginning at verse 17. Then when Jesus came, he found that he had lain in the grave 4 days already. Now Bethany was nigh unto Jerusalem, about 15 furlongs off. And many of the Jews came to Mary and Martha to comfort them concerning their brother. Then Martha, as soon as she heard that Jesus was coming, went and met him. And Mary was set still in the house. Then said Martha unto Jesus, Lord, if thou hadst been here, my brother had not died. But I know that even now, whatsoever thou wilt ask of God, God will give it thee. Jesus saith unto her, Thy brother shall rise again. Martha said unto him, I know that he shall rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Jesus saith unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believest thou this? She saith unto him, Yea, Lord, I believe that thou art the Christ, the Son of God, which should come into the world. Wow. So, here we get, like I said, Thomas's affirmation yesterday, let us go with him even that we may die with him. It was a great statement of faith. And of course, all of the disciples, with the exception of John, will be martyred, of the apostles, will be martyred for the faith with the exception of John. He's the one who lives to an old age and dies in his sleep. But here we have this amazing affirmation. Remember the story of Mary and Martha earlier in the scriptures where Jesus is going and Martha's busy in the kitchen cooking and getting everything ready for dinner, and Mary's just sitting there listening to Jesus. And so Martha comes in and goes, "Hey, did you tell my lazy sister to get up here and help me with the victuals?" And he didn't say victuals, of course. And help with that. And of course, Jesus says, Mary's chosen the better part. There's time for us to do all that, but now's the time for us to sit and be instructed and to listen. Right? We need to find that balance in life, and we only can do the other things better if we spend more time working on the interior life, prayer and meditation. But here, so we have Martha, who once again, when Jesus she hears he's coming, boom, she's out to find him. And Jesus, of course, will acknowledge her grief, but what he gives her is a theological question and a theological answer. Right? And he says, do you believe in the resurrection? Well, this is an argument going on, not just for Jesus' followers, but the Pharisees and the Sadducees are fighting about the resurrection. The Sadducees says there isn't one. The Pharisees do. Do you believe in a resurrection? And Martha says, I believe. We'll rise the last day. And Jesus says, I am the resurrection and the life. Right? Nobody comes to the Father but by Jesus. And Martha believes it. Do you believe this? Believest thou this? And Martha makes the perfect acclamation of faith. I believe that thou art the Christ, the Son of God. And guess what? It's exactly what he is. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful to hear this being said. Okay, so tomorrow we get to the actual raising of Lazarus. We'll hear Mary will hustle out and come to see Jesus as well, and then they will go to the grave. And again, another remarkable part of this story. I tend to get a little verklempt when I read this one, when I have to do it at Mass. In Lent, it comes up on a Friday in Lent, and it's the whole 3-day section. We read it at one time at the Mass. And I have to say, I get a little verklempt. Talk amongst yourselves. Anyway, but speaking of worship, we do have our sign-up list available, stjohnsdetroit.org. Sign up for one of our 10 services this Saturday and Sunday. And keep praying. Probably not next week we'll be open, but maybe the week after, God willing, and the numbers for COVID don't rise. I hope you have yourself a fantastic Thursday, and may God bless you.